Well, I'm from Drogheda, County Louth, and I was at school in Drogheda, and then went on to the Augustinian Novitiate in Orla, County Dublin, in 1959. From there, I went to study in Ballyboden before going to Rome to study theology for 4 years. After the last year there, I was ordained a priest and came home in June of that year. On to the United States to St. Louis, where I studied a year on spiritual training so that I could help the students when I came back to Ireland. I was back in Ballyboden here for 7 years before being elected provincial, and then for 8 years in that role before going back to America to study again, this time in Boston, in Cambridge College. And then I was elected, I came back and was a prior in Orla College for a year before going back to Rome as Assistant General. Then I came back in, I forget the year now, 2001. Came back to John's Lane, and I was teaching in the Milltown Institute for a number of years. Then last year, or 18 months ago, I had a fall, and unfortunately I'm in a wheelchair since. Well, the experience in Rome was looking after as Assistant General with the responsibilities for the northern provinces of Ireland and England, Canada, Holland, Belgium, Germany, and the province in Austria and Czech Republic. No, it's something you have to do, so you get up and do it, yes. That probably, I suppose the helping people was much more important than all the travelling, and trying to listen. I have a famous retort when I went to Holland first. They asked me what had I come to tell them. So I said I didn't come to tell them anything. I came to listen, and they told me I was always welcome. I always worked on the presumption that you kind of see where people would like to be, and if at all possible, to place them in that position, yes. And I worked on the principle that where people are happy, then you'll get the best out of them. Well, I suppose the highlight of spiritual direction is coming to the realization that the Lord is with you at all times, and trying to help people to realize that, and to come to the realization that Christ is always with you, and therefore, no matter where you are or what you're doing, that you are in the eyes of God. And that spiritual direction basically is trying to help people to come to that realization that they're not ever alone, that the Lord is always with them. And that would be also the great message of Augustine, that we are never alone, that Christ is always with us. Well, when I was teaching, and you probably see the on candles sometimes you see a circle with the X and the P at it, which stands, and I put that up on a board one day. I asked the children what it meant, and there was silence in the class. And then one little girl put her hand up and she says, "I know, Father." I says, "What is it?" She says, "No parking." Well, of course, it really means it stands for Christ. But of course, out of the mouth of babes speaks wisdom, because in our relationship with Christ, there can be no parking. You've made us for yourselves, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in thee. That kind of sums it up, you know.